Good evening, everyone. This is going to be our second part of our How We Afford Disney video. Well, two videos. So this time this video we're going to go through kind of how we afford Disney, pertaining more to like after we've booked and to an extent while we're there.
Or booking as a whole.
Booking
this
as a
is
whole.
more Disney focused than just the idea of saving
up for it. Yeah. So the first thing that we suggest you do is to use a travel agent. And there's a couple of reasons for this. One, it takes a lot of stress off of you because you're not the one having to like book everything, which yes, you can do it online, but there are some things that you still have to call in order to do, like in order to get some things.
If you have to do a rebooking, you have to call and rebook.
Rebookings you would have to call in to do. If there's other things
like changes and stuff, you have to call and do it. So at that point,
yeah, and so it's easier to have a travel agent do that for you sometimes, because if there's if you've booked it yourself and then you notice, oh look, and a deal's going on our resort that we want to stay at,
and it applies to your
trip, then you have to call to rebook. Mm-hmm. But if you use a travel agent like we do, when something they're constantly looking for things like that, and then when something does pop through, like I think it happened on our first trip, they then without even like saying anything to you, they just go, okay, let's get you this deal, and they call and rebook it for you, and then they just send you an email saying, hey, a deal came through, we went ahead and got it for you, so now you that knocked like $90 off of your total or something like that.
Yeah.
And so having a travel agent for that is really nice.
And having a travel agent doesn't mean that 100% of the work is done for you.
Yeah.
Your travel agent can do any level of planning and booking for you.
Yeah. So if you need them to, they can also book your dining reservations. They can book your fast passes for you. Like if your flight, you can book depending on your travel agency. Like ours, you can't. We have to do that ourselves. But there are travel agencies who do that for you.
Yeah.
And so like it can take a lot of stress out of you. So if you're one of those people who's like doesn't know their way around the computer, or just doesn't want to doesn't have the time to figure out like how to work the Disney apps and different things like that, then having a travel agent is going to be the best bet for you.
Yeah.
It's going to save you a lot of time and stress, and possibly save you some money as well.
Yeah, or if you just don't want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to book fast passes on the day that they open.
It's 5. It's 5 o'clock.
Not helping.
So the second thing we would suggest would be to stay in a value resort. We kind of touched on this in the last video, but the value resorts are way cheaper. All-Star Movies is one that we've been staying at the last 3 trips. We paid, I think, one trip we paid $120 per night. Another one was $140 because it was depending on the time of year and different things. So the reason that we do that instead of staying at Caribbean Beach, which is where my parents and my sister and I stayed our first trip 16 years ago, or like at a deluxe resort, is because we're not doing anything in the rooms. We're sleeping in the rooms. The only time that we stay at the resort or do anything and have done anything at the resort is when we took Aiden swimming this last trip, and the one before this, April and September. We took him swimming. Yeah. But we did that after we'd done a day at the park.
Right.
And so
we didn't even spend that much time at the pool anyway.
No. And it's like, for the most part, we're just there to sleep.
Yeah.
Like it's just a place for us to rest and recharge so we can go to the parks again the next day.
Yeah, we spend, when we're there, we're at the parks. We're not there, like Disney, while it's vacation for us, it's not a relax in our hotel room vacation.
Yeah, that's just not the way that we are. Like, if you're one of those people that needs to like, going on vacation to like go and hang out in a cabin and just relax, then Disney World is not for you.
Yeah.
There is so much to do here, and even if your plan is to just like have a relaxing vacation, just like hang out and sleep or whatever, you're not going to want to. You're going to want to do these other things. Even if the parks aren't your thing, there's other things. There's Disney Springs, which has a whole bunch of shopping things, and there's different experiences there. There's different things even just around Disney property that you can go and do, or even just outside.
Like jazz, that there's going to be a Target in Disney Springs.
The other reason that we stay in the value resort is because, I mean, to us they're just as good as the other ones. There are some amenities that you don't get, but
but
the
they're
rooms-
not, for us, they're not amenities that we would use. Like they
Yeah.
have like the spa or like the big fancy sit down restaurants.
Yeah.
And we could go to the sit down restaurants whether we stay there or not.
Yeah, you do. That's the other thing. You do not have to stay at Caribbean Beach to go to Sebastian's. You don't have to stay at the Grand Floridian to go to. God, I can't even think of the name of it right now. There's a very nice restaurant in there. What is it?
I don't know. That's why I'm waiting for you, Telly.
Something in Alberts.
Victoria and Albert?
Yes, Victoria and Alberts. Thank you. It's like I know what it is.
Or the contemporary for Chef Mickey.
Yeah, we ate at Chef Mickey's on our first trip.
Yeah.
You don't have to be staying there to go there.
And you don't even have to be staying at a Disney resort to go to any of their restaurants. You can go drive to the resort, tell the guard at the door at the gate that
you show them your reservation confirmation.
Yep.
And they go, okay, cool. And you can
go
park.
eat. Yep.
Yeah.
You don't have to have park tickets to do that or anything.
Yeah.
So
don't let having such and such restaurant in your resort be the reason that you stay there. We had breakfast at Ohana in our April trip.
Mm-hmm.
We had Chef Mickey's the first time, so you can do it regardless of where you're staying. So don't let that dictate where you're staying. Stay at the cheaper resort so that maybe you can afford to have a nicer meal at Ohana's or wherever.
Or stay an extra
stay an extra day.
If you stay at a value resort, that means you get to stay a day or two extra and spend just a little bit more time there.
Yeah.
That
rather
to
than
me is
spending
worth
that
it.
extra money on a bigger resort and have to cut your trip a little shorter.
Yep.
Yeah. The third one is pertaining to the Disney dining plan. So know the Disney dining plan options. So this kind of goes along with the do your research one from the last video.
Yeah.
It's the Disney dining plan is not for everybody. For us, it works really, really well, at least at this point.
Once we have kids, we'll see.
Once the kids are old enough to that they will have their own dining plan, you'll have to be paying for theirs, then it may not be as worth it. But for us right now, and if it's just you as an individual, or just you as a couple, like my friend Jess, it's just her and her husband. If it's something like that, it's worth it. It really is.
It could be.
Or it could be, depending on how you do it.
It depends on. There's so many factors in it when it comes to the dining plan. There's a lot of good resources out there. There's the Disney Dining Plan Calculator.
Yeah.
Where, while you may not know everything, you can kind of plug in what you would like to eat, where you want to eat, reservations, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it will pull up how much that would cost you out of pocket versus your dining plan.
Yes.
But for us, I eat full-fledged meals, like 100%, and then I don't snack during the day very much.
Yeah.
So that works
That
great.
would be me.
So it works out pretty well for us because I honestly, I can eat my 2 sit-down meals a day, or well, not sit down, but I can eat my 2 big meals a day, have a small thing for breakfast, and I'm good for the day.
Yeah.
And it works great in that
Also, the
sense.
thing, the dining plans, you actually get quite a bit for your dining plans.
It's
So
a lot of
the
food.
lowest one that you can get is one that we had on our September trip, which is the quick service plan.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that you get 2 quick service meals, so like the counter service ones, where you're just walking up to the counter, you're getting your food, and you're going and finding a seat.
Yeah, it's essentially Disney fast food.
Essentially, yes. So you get 2 credits per person per day. So each person would get 2 meals.
Mm-hmm.
Plus each person gets 2 snack credits a day. So you have 4 snacks between you and 2 meals or 4 meals between you for the day. For each day that you're there. And so it's a lot.
It's a lot of
And like the snack credits pertain to things like you can get a Mickey pretzel, which are big. They're big pretzels. You can get, we one morning when we had a fast pass for Splash Mountain on one of our trips. I don't remember which one it was. The first one, I think. We stopped and used our a snack credit to get a muffin.
Mm-hmm. But those snack credits also, a lot of places will take a snack credit for a side of a meal, so like for some fries.
Yeah.
But then there's also places like Flame Tree Barbecue. They have these awesome, smothered French fries, barbecue sauce, pulled pork craziness.
Yeah.
And it's easily a whole meal, and it's a snack credit.
Yeah.
And so there's so many options when it comes to those credits that you can maximize or not. But there's so many ways that you can maximize or take advantage of the Disney dining plan and make it work to your favor. So like for us, the way it works is like I eat full those whole meals. It works great for me. Ryan doesn't eat like full meals the way
I do
that
sometimes.
I do.
It just kind of depends on how I'm
What
feeling
it
that day and
is,
how
yeah.
like how much I've been snacking through the day.
But he's more of a snacker, so
Yeah.
it kind of works out that I'll eat my full meal and I can usually finish what he
Usually,
leaves behind too, and then he can snack throughout the day
yeah,
or whatever he wants to do, and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
And so our very first trip, we had a lot of snack credits left over.
Yeah.
Because
which you
we
can
were
use those-
thinking about it.
yeah, and you can use those in like the gift shops in like the resort, or in our I think it was just called the commissary in movies.
Mm-hmm.
To go and get like just bags of chips or like a package of little package of
Yeah.
Oreos or things like that. And so that's
It's-
actually what we did the first trip. So we had like 6 of them left over. So I just went in and grabbed 6 different things
Yeah.
for like her to snack on the plane, because I don't usually eat on the plane.
It's any of the single serve snacks
Yeah.
is what they consider a snack credit.
Yeah.
And so we had a lot of snack credits left over that first trip because we didn't plan it out well.
Yeah.
But these last 2 trips,
We've used them all. Because that's the thing. You also want to make sure you use all of your credits, because if you get to the end of your trip and you're like, oh well, we didn't use our last table service credit. Okay, cool.
it's gone.
It's gone. You don't get refunded for that. It's just gone.
Mhm.
And so it's one of those things that you want to use that in some way, and you can use the meal credits to get snacks. So you can get
The
3
the quick service
the quick
credits.
service ones. Yes, you can get 3 snacks per credit per quick service credit.
Yep, because we did that our second trip, or was
I
it
think
our
so.
first trip?
I don't remember.
No, it was our first trip because we weren't eating the meal like the quick service meals
Oh.
like we were the table service
Yeah.
meals. So we had used some of our quick service credits at Food and Wine to get multiple snacks.
Yeah. So
And so that's always an option too. There's so many options with the dining plan that if you're going to eat, it's going to work great for you. But
Yeah.
but then on the flip side of it, if you're like Ryan's parents and you like split your meals, like you order one meal and split it between you and your husband, the dining plan's not going to be for you. You're
Yeah.
going to be spending more getting the dining plan
mhm.
than you would if you just paid out of pocket.
Yeah, because if you're one of those people that splits the meals, then you're only using 1 credit at a time, so you're gonna have a lot of leftover credits that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, the other thing we have written down here is like if you're an alcohol drinker,
oh yeah,
then the dining plan can be worth it, because with your quick service or table service credits, with the meal that you can get an alcoholic beverage. It allows you to get the in the case of a quick service credit, it allows you to get whatever meal that you want plus a drink. And then with the table service ones, it allows you to get an entree, a side, or
no, an
an
entree,
entree,
a drink,
a drink, and a dessert. And those drinks can be adult beverages.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a person who likes to drink alcohol like that, then you would be pretty good on the dining plan.
And it also, wow, it doesn't have to be an alcoholic drink. It can also be just a specialty drink. So like
Yeah.
mocktails, some of them like non-special, like not the beaches and cream milkshakes, but some of the milkshakes at some of the restaurants you can get part of the dining credit, where you'd be paying more for that.
Like
if
$6,
you-
$7, $8 for one drink or whatever.
Yep.
So just kind of do your research on it ahead of time and just know your options as far as the dining plan, and know if the dining plan is for you and
Yeah.
which level of it, because there's like 3 different levels.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely.
the one level is 2 quick service credits and 2 snacks per person per day, and then the next one is 2 snacks, 1 quick service, and 1 table service per person per day. And I think the third one has 2 table service.
The deluxe?
Yeah.
No, you get
Or is
3 dining credits a day.
3
It
dining
doesn't-
credits. It doesn't. Yeah, and
It doesn't matter whether it's a quick service
Or
or,
a
a
table
table
service. It'll work for
service.
either one.
It's just 3 dining credits a day.
Yeah.
One of the other things I was gonna say about the dining plan, I don't remember it now.
Oh.
I would like you started talking and I lost exactly what I was gonna say.
Well, if you remember it, we can come back to it.
Nikes.
So number 4 is know the discounts. Know the discounts that are available.
Mhm.
So if you are a pass holder, we're not anymore at this point, but you get, is it 20% discount in the
Mhm.
yeah 20% discount in like the gift shops. It's like you get a
Mhm.
discount on the gift shops. You can get pass holders get discounts on, do they get discounts on food, or just gift shop?
Um, it changes. There
Yeah.
are some food places, I think specifically in Disney Springs, that offer some sort of discount. It's not like a 20% off,
Right,
but they have
it's
like
just
some sort of discount, or they like it's like you get a free beignet if you're
Yeah.
it's things like that, and those change regularly, so you can't count on those necessarily.
Yeah.
But those are out there.
Yeah.
And those pass holder discounts are also something to think about if you're on the fence about becoming a pass holder.
Yeah.
So the whole reason we became pass holders is because for our 10-day trip, being a pass holder was actually less expensive than buying those tickets.
Yeah.
So that's why we just were like, well, let's become a pass holder.
Yeah, might as well at that point.
And then after that, all the 20% off we were getting on merchandise and everything like that is just added savings because we became a pass holder.
Yeah.
So if you're on a trip where it's like you could go either way, if you got an annual pass, or if you just bought tickets, it's about the same price, a couple dollars difference, no big deal.
Right.
Consider that 20% discount. Are you going to be buying merchandise in the park? You're going to be buying those ear headbands or the Spirit jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
Get the annual pass. You're gonna save money that way, and it's worth that.
And the other discount that one of the discounts that we know about as well is that if you bank through Chase, they have Disney debit cards that have like Disney designs on them, and because they've actually partnered with Disney, and you actually get, it's a 10 or 20% discount at the gift shop and stuff because of that.
I think it's 10% because
so.
They were telling when we first went there, they were telling us to do the annual pass because it's a better discount.
Yeah.
But if they don't take the annual pass, then to try the Disney Chase.
Yeah.
Because it is they may apply that one, which is not as good, but it's still something.
Yeah.
And it's not just the debit card. You can apply for their credit card.
Yeah.
Which is also a Disney Chase card, and that has those same benefits.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's just another thing. You just kind of do your research and look into these and see in what ways you can get discounts. Which a lot of the discounts can be found by your travel agent, not necessarily like, this type of thing, but just kind of just other discounts in general they can generally find for you.
Yeah, because sometimes they do. You can get discounts in like room stays and stuff like that for being an annual pass holder.
Yeah.
Things like that. Those are good things to keep an eye out for. Residency. There is a special resort on property for military families called Shades of Green, and they offer discounted park tickets there for military members.
Right.
So there's lots of options. So those are just things especially if you go through a travel agent, to ask them, say, hey, we're looking at going to Disney in X, Y, and Z time frame, and these are our stats. We have annual passes, and we also have Disney Visa cards, and we also were military members. What are our options?
Yeah, and they will do, and most of the time they'll just be able to answer you right away because they've dealt with it so much and they're all super knowledgeable about it. So you'll probably just get an email back saying, oh, here's your options, because they already know.
Oh yeah,
good. Oh yeah, they are. The last one, number 5, is choose to use Disney Transit. So some people really don't like using the Disney Transit, and if you're one of those people, okay, good on you, and you can go do your thing. But you got to think about this: doing a rideshare. Lyft is the more popular one around Disney World because they've partnered with Disney and they have the minivans.
Yeah.
Which supposedly, from what I've heard, are really, really great because the minivan drivers are actual cast members.
And they have car seats in there, so if you have little ones that need car seats, they have 2 convertible car seats in there. And that's all great and everything, but it's ridiculously
it gets very expensive. So if you're one of those people that has that kind of money to be able to do that, okay, cool, you can do that, and it can sometimes get you places quicker. Sometimes.
Yeah, it can, because you're not necessarily waiting for a bus
and then having to possibly stop at different. So like Caribbean Beach has, I think, 7 bus stops within the resort itself in different areas. So that bus, if you're at the first one, you're going to stop at all of the other 6 before going to whichever park.
And so for like that, like if you are trying to rush to make a reservation, a Lyft might be a good idea, or an Uber if you don't need the car seat thing. That's,
you can also do an Uber,
and it will be Uber is going to be a little bit less expensive than the Lyft, but no car seat. Well, you can ask for a car seat, but it's usually the person's car seat, and just let's not go into that. Yeah. So those are options.
Yeah. So you got to think too is that one of the services that Disney offers is they have Magical Express, which if you book through a travel agent, you will get Magical Express, and that will take you from.
You can get Magical Express whether you book through a travel agent or not. It's just it is just bundled with the fact that you're staying at a Disney resort.
Yeah. But you have to make sure you add it. Like I looked at it when I was going through to see about booking it myself without a travel agent before I found out about travel agents. Really, is that you have to make sure that you select the option to add it because it is a free thing that you can do, but you have to make sure you push that button. Otherwise, you're screwed out.
Or you don't get it.
Or you'll have to like call and essentially do a rebooking. Yeah.
But it is free, so take advantage of it. That means that you get transportation from MCO, from Orlando
International Airport,
to your resort.
Yes. And it's and they're very nice buses. It's the big like tour buses.
They're the Mears buses, yeah.
Yeah. And then the drivers are very nice, and they come on as you're going into Disney property where the big arch is. This is Welcome to Walt Disney World. They come on the PA system. They're just like, all right, here we go. Like they tell you when you're going to that.
They tell you that you're getting ready there. So if you want to take pictures.
If you want to take pictures, here's your opportunity. Yeah. So and the drivers are very nice. One of the complaints that some people that I've heard about it is that it takes too long for us. And the thing is, the actual drive itself is going to be about the same. You'll be a little faster in like a Lyft because it's not this tank that you're driving down the road.
And Magical Express will sometimes make multiple stops.
Sometimes, yes. So, well, actually, it always does, like depending on the amount of people.
I was gonna say, I don't think on our first trip it only made the 3 stops for All Stars.
Yes. So your bus, there's 11 stops, but there's like 30 resorts. So your buses are going to go to multiple different resorts. So the one that you would take if you were staying in one of the All-Star resorts like we do, is it goes to All-Star Movies, All-Star Music, and All-Star Sports. Mm-hmm. So it stops at sports first, and then music, and then movies, because that's how they're kind of laid out. And so in that sense, yes, it will take longer because you have to. The bus will stop. Or like in the case of our last trip, it stopped at Coronado Springs because like there wasn't enough people in each line to warn it, so they sent to Coronado Springs with us, and so we stopped at Coronado Springs, and then we went over and we stopped at All-Star Sports, and then we went over and stopped at All-Star Music, and then we went over and stopped at our resort at Movies.
But you know what though, I really don't think because even that only took us grand total like an hour.
Yeah, they tell you that it will to allot for about 90 minutes. It never takes the full 90 minutes unless the buses are delayed for some reason. It does not take 90 minutes.
Yeah, from the moment that we scan our magic bands down in the basement of MCO.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's pretty much the basement. Down at the bottom of MCO, from that moment we tap our magic bands to get into line, it really, I would say, only about an hour to the resort. Now it can vary. I would always allot for that extra 90 minutes. I wouldn't want to account for 30 minutes and then it really be the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But I really don't think that's an unreasonable amount of time.
No. It's just there are some people that are like, oh, I want to get there and I just want to be able to just go straight to the park. And it's like, okay, cool. You can get not a minivan at that point, but you can get a Lyft that goes there. It's going to be pretty expensive. But you can do that so you don't have to wait, the 10-15 minutes that you'd be waiting in line before the bus leaves so that you can get to your park sooner. You can do that. Yeah. But it's going to be better and it's going to save you money, quite a bit of money, to just use the Magical Express. In the same way, going from your resort to the parks, use the Disney buses.
Or if you're staying at one of the other resorts and you can take Skyliner.
Or the monorail.
Yeah. Just use them. It's going to... Well, I mean, if you're staying on a monorail resort, why wouldn't you use the monorail? Because you're right there. It would be silly almost to Lyft or Uber from the Grand Floridian into
over to Magic Kingdom. It's going to take you longer. It's going to take you longer to do that than to hop on the monorail for the most part.
Well, yeah, because to get to like if you wanted to like park at Magic Kingdom, you don't actually park at Magic Kingdom. You park at Ticket and Transit, and that's
Ticket
where
transportation center, and then you get on the ferry boat or the
And-
monorail or
but
whichever.
that's where Ubers drop you off too. Ubers
Yes.
do not drop you at Magic Kingdom. They
Yes.
drop you at
Yeah, so you'd be going to the same place that you could get to on the monorail.
yeah, it'd be
So,
silly.
Yeah, so use the Disney buses or the monorails or whichever you have.
Yeah.
There's really no reason not to. We don't have any issues with it. We had one issue on our last trip, and that was it. And that was just a delay in the bus, where the time that we stood there for about 30 minutes waiting for the bus to.
Oh, in the morning?
Magic Kingdom in the morning. Yeah.
That made me really cranky. But it's just one of those things.
It's not something that happens all the time. That was the
No.
only time that it happened to us. You know, if you happen to get there, like you walk up and you are like, "Oh, I've been waiting here for like 20 minutes." It's like, okay, but you got to think that, but you might have gotten there right after your bus left, and so it's going to be another 20 minutes, about 20 minutes, maybe a little more before a bus comes back around. But Disney they account for the amount of traffic they're going to have.
Yeah, they're
So
usually really
they will
good
send
about
multiple
it.
buses, and there is always a cast member in like the bus area keeping track of how long the lines are so that they can call in another bus if they need to.
Yep.
So just use the Disney transportation. It's going to save you a lot of money, and that's one of the
Yeah.
ways that we are able to do it.
Yeah, because we were talking about on our Ohana day, we were thinking that we might sleep in a little bit
And
and
then
have
take
to
a lift or
take a lift or whatever, and avoid the bus hopping that we had to do. Because how did we end up getting to Ohana?
we took a bus to Magic Kingdom. Yeah, we took a bus to Magic Kingdom, and then we hopped on the monorail and took the
monorail
over.
over to Ohana. That's right.
Yeah.
And that ended up being a lot quicker than like busing. But
Yeah.
We were talking about taking a lift, in which we would have had to have a minivan because Aiden would have needed a car seat.
Yeah.
It would have been almost $40 just to
Mhm.
get there. It was like
Yeah.
$38.
Yeah.
And instead we just planned for like an hour of transit time, and we beat
Something
that
like that.
by a landslide. It
Yeah.
didn't take us an hour to get there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our list of that's our list of kind of how we afford Disney and pertaining to like our booking and everything. So that combined with the other video, hopefully both of these videos kind of help you figure out your own trip, and you can go to the park and have just as much fun as we do while we're there. So, but until then, we will see you guys next time.